Rebecca, there was the Bruce's Beach, and it was returned and given back to a black family after almost 100 years. Let's take a look at that clip real quick.
Nearly a century in the making. California Governor Gavin Newsom returning property taken from a black couple to their family. Bruce's Beach in Southern California. The land was first purchased by Willa and Charles Bruce, a black couple, in 1912, a time when segregation largely restricted beach access for blacks. The Bruces built a lodge, cafe, and even a dance hall, open to all. The resort became an oasis for black families to swim and socialize without being harassed, until the safe haven became a target.
Despite all the racial taunts to KKK, the harassment, the burning of their facilities, the taunting and the harassment of their guests, they survived and flourished for 12 years. And it was at that point that the city of Manhattan Beach took it upon themselves to say enough is enough.
In 1924, Manhattan Beach officials seized the Bruces' land, citing eminent domain and plans to build a park. The Bruces tried to fight the city to no avail. They received just over $14,500 for their beachfront property. The land remained vacant for 3 decades. Now, almost 100 years later, a reckoning.
This property was stolen from the Bruces. We're returning what was stolen, what was rightfully theirs.
The state returning the prime real estate to the couple's descendants, who the family says are now scattered throughout the country, some living at or below the poverty line, despite once owning land now valued in the millions.
The family has missed out on about 100 years of income that property could have generated.
Today, this property is worth somewhere around $75 million. And so certainly a lot of money when you think of prime beachfront real estate over the past 100 years. And what's more is people are talking about the generational wealth that money could have produced, sending someone to medical school or law school if they wanted to go, allowing other entrepreneurs in that family to flourish. What the family has been asking for is an apology from the city. And that is something the city has refused to do. They are putting up a plaque at the site to acknowledge what has happened. They are condemning what has happened, but they will not apologize. And today we heard the governor apologize and say that he was doing that, even though the city has refused.
So what happens now with that? I mean, because clearly it looks like it's property and everything there already built there. So what happens now?
I would love to know this as well. That's why I was interested in this, because the conversation that started in the social media space when this first came out was, wow, this is great. They're going to, I don't even like to see this. This pisses me off too. Just seeing how it's like, okay, we'll give them money, we'll give them their land back, but we won't really apologize. That's not our thing. Right. Like the city won't apologize. And that sucks because it means a lot, the fact that they said they want an apology. Years and years, as we heard this woman who was being interviewed about this, stated years and years and years and decades, they said that they were going to seize the land to build the park, although that wasn't even their land to take. That's right. But because the city said that they will build a park there, and they ended up doing nothing with it. And that's what really upsets me. There has been generations of other Black families who have been flourishing. And I told you guys about that show I was watching. A flourishing wine vineyard, Black wine being produced, and all because a Black man invited the white officials there. They literally set it up for those people to be massacred, stating, "Hey, you heard what that man said. There are more Blacks like this. Basically, we don't want them. They can walk onto land and take it." There was a time where they could walk onto land and just take it from Black people because they didn't want them to be. It's something about seeing them being able to build generational wealth. Yes. Yeah. And being the producers of their own thing. Y'all had whites only beaches. Where are Black people going to come and have a good time at the beach? Okay. A Black owned beach, but it's like they didn't want us to have, and they didn't want us to produce. They didn't want us to create our own. They just didn't want that. Even today, that apology, even though it doesn't right all the wrongs, but so much generation, like there's so much that could have happened in that time. But all this family is asking for in this particular moment is, I'm sorry, because they know how much that means, especially coming from those who will have to feel the conviction of what their family did.
See, that's the thing that bugs me out, is everything that both of y'all pointed out. Like, that's 100 years of generational wealth that has been robbed from this family. And that means that there are people in this family line who were born and died in poverty because the city decided to steal their wealth from them. See, they can't nobody in this country tell me about black people pulling ourselves up by the bootstrap. Can't tell us nothing. We got to finish this conversation in the after party, because boy, this thing got me 38 hot. You can't say nothing to black people about pulling ourselves up by the bootstrap, because when we did it in Rosewood, y'all ancestors burned it down. When we did it in Tulsa, y'all ancestors burned it down. When we did it across the country, when we did it in, what's the name of the city? Rufus Davis was the mayor. What's the name of that city?
Oh, Camilla, Georgia.
Camilla, Georgia.
He's no longer the mayor, by the way. He didn't win.
No, he didn't win.
He gave up.
Awesome.
He gave up that fight.